Okay, so I'm out riding Cinnamon. We're having a great day. She's cruising through the human element. And wanted to talk with you about trust. There are a lot of people that throw around the word trust. They try to get their horse to trust them. They want to trust the horse. And knowing how to develop trust in a horse, I created an interactive system where I could present what I expect to the horse, observe their feedback, make necessary changes, present again to create a feedback loop and develop trust, because it's not linear. It's not like do this, 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 and this, and you'll have trust. There's stages. So developmental stages. First stage would be recognition. Now, the horse is going to consciously become aware that you are in their world and you matter, and vice versa. And I wrote a book, and in the book I describe it as zebras and lions. So zebras can read intention of the lions. They can trust that the lions are just passing through or they're going to come eat them. It's intuitive in the sense that there's frequency or energy being exchanged non-verbally. Can't see it. So when we go through stages of trust, recognition, obviously it's I see you, you matter in my world. Stage 2 would be safety. I'll be okay, or not. Going back to the zebra and lion. So in a Mustang, once a wild horse, I'm riding her through the human element, and she just kind of looked at that little pile of bricks there, and split second, go through the stages of trust with me. She asks, what is that? And essentially I can tell her it's nothing, with just a subtle leg cue or a subtle rein cue. Just a communication. She's like, you're talking on camera, I'm going to get me a bite. So the recognition, the safety, that's 1 and 2 stage of trust. I see you matter, and I can be okay with it, or not. Third stage would be understanding. I'm comprehending what you're saying, Justin, or I'm comprehending what we're doing, or not. And then we can identify that in that stage and become more clear at what we're asking, or more consistent in what we're asking. Slow down if we're going too fast, those type things. So then we go into willingness. I see you, you matter, I'm safe, I understand, and now I'm willing to participate in what we're doing. We got a lot of cars around us. A lot of distractions, outside influences that are contributing factors to our relationship, and how well we're going to communicate. It's not a determining factor yet, but it's a contributing factor. How the outcome will be, desirable or undesirable. So then we go into willingness. Yeah, I'm willing to go down this pathway with you on my back in the human element. I was a once wild Mustang horse, roaming free in Nevada. Now I'm in North Carolina. And we're trying to get to partnership, which is the 5th stage. We'll pause on this willingness for a moment. So how do we develop willingness? It's the opposite of force. So in other words, if I use force submission to cause this horse to comply through pain or fear of pain, I'm going opposite of willingness. Yeah, she'll do it if I force her type thing, but it's not sustainable because pressure creates resistance. Resistance leads to resentment. Resentment leads to rebellion. So I'm focusing on willingness, the fourth stage of trust. And then once we get willingness, we can actually develop the fifth stage, partnership, which is true unity, oneness. Thinking, we're feeling through emotion, our attitude, our actions, and our intentions are coming into alignment together. We're actually curious, we're confident, and we're seeking more. More what? More conscious awareness. I brought her into the human element. She's getting to learn, become consciously aware of her surroundings as she otherwise would not out in the wild. So she's getting to smell smells, think thoughts, feel feelings, see sights, hear sounds, touch, taste. They'll drink out of a tea glass up here at the restaurant we're going to. So just all of the things, the interactive system that we've created to develop this coveted trust between a horse and human, to expand conscious awareness. It's a beautiful gift. I stumbled upon it and I wrote a book about it. It's called The Sacred Art of Horsemanship, which simply means a set-apart practice of self-study, self-discovery, for self-mastery, with a horse as an accountability partner. So essentially every self-help book I've ever read, I get to put into practice with this horse going to town right now. I get to move and breathe, merge those together, and create an experience we both share in that expands our conscious awareness. I get to go inward, present outward, observe feedback from outward, make changes inward, present again. And I get to fine-tune myself to become better, to help my horse fine-tune to become better, and then it's a beautiful system. It's a beautiful way to live. We get to think what we want to think, do what we want to do, and become who we were meant to become, and serve in a much higher capacity than ourselves. So Cinnamon's definitely one of my star students, star teachers, and I try to be that for her. So if you're interested in having a discussion about what we're doing, I'm going to do a podcast real soon with my friend at the touch of a Mustang. We're going to do a series of 5 different podcasts touching on 5 main areas of a human life that is definitely crossed over with a horse's life. Health, wealth, happiness, relationships, and spirituality. So if you're interested, let me know and I'll send you the details. Bye-bye.